Hello everyone, my name is Halo Run and welcome back to Stay Out. This time we're doing a guide on New Lands. We'll show you as we go. First off, we're showing you the NPCs in a near range. You got that guy there, which you take to go back out, because you can't go back out without talking to him. And then we got this lady here.
Здравствуйте, молодой человек. Обувь и одежду, пожалуйста, отряхивайте от снега заранее.
The only woman in this game so far. There's the only two NPCs here. Now, oh yeah, before I'm finished with that bit, when you get a job from her, you'll be looking for plane parts. There's a rough idea of plane parts around here, so say roughly around here, and roughly around this one as well, that area, and a plane part here, which I should change that. It's roughly around there. It can change. There's also a plane part over here as well. And there's one down here, one down here. So there should be, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts in total. I thought I'd mention that because that job took us a long time to work out. Anyways, let's get to it. We'll show you where you can go for things. This will be the sort of a mini shop. Does not sell meds, does not sell food, but it does sell clothes. Now, around this zone, it's harder than any other zone I've encountered so far. Why? Because you're on the clock. See this little thing here? Of course you may have encountered the freezing before, but in this game, the information is quite wrong. It is not 25 to 50 is light. It's more of 25 to 100 is light. 100 to 150 is average. 200 to 250 is heavy. And 300 is death. You will die no matter what you do if it hits 300. Now, you got this person here who takes only artifacts for points. You can generally find shields, B, Ys, and deltas and E's around here. The stabilizers, or shockers, you only find deltas and E's. They go for a fair amount of points. The E and deltas do. I think 28 for the deltas and 36 for the E. Now, this is the clothes. You can get your quilted pants in the airport. You can get the sweater with a zipper in Grommet. I end up getting a thermal shirt and pants off the billboard. You need a knitted balaclava with 35%, which you can also get in the airport. You also need cold gloves, boots, the basic stuff. Oh, and my hat, you can get that in the Town of Light if you farm very heavily. But essentially you need all these bits. And it'll have 4 cold per raise. Then you got this fella here who sells technological stuff. He also gives you a job to check the flag. Now the flag is located in this area. We will show that on the way back. This guy is the vault guy. Very important to pay attention to him since you'll be coming here a lot. And you need a lot of resources. So fixing kits, meds, and cold food. Cold food is basically boar fat, dog rose fruit, and a daisy flower. That'll get you 4
До
points.
свидания.
We'll go to the islands now. Oh yeah, should I forget?
Привет.
This guy
Как
here gives you a
здоровится?
job to kill
будь здоров.
big rats and wolves for their jaws.
Рад видеть.
This guy also
Что
gives
в зоне
you a job
творится?
when you do some quests. I haven't got there
Бывает.
myself, but my teammate has. And we're going over here, so we'll skip to there, just to speed things up a bit. Oh, and before I do that, I really want to emphasize this. Since it's a cold zone, you cannot make fires willy-nilly. So you, as you can see, it's got an icon there. But the icon does not always mean it's a place where you can make a fire. Anyways, we'll skip to this and show you. Right, and we're back to this zone. Now there's no anomalies coming from here to there. So you should be able to, well, kind of make it, as long as your cold does not rise higher than 9. Well, that's good.
Чем
Anyways,
пожаловал?
he gives you a little bit of water and food and matches, as well as this really ridiculously expensive coat for 5 million, just about.
До встречи.
And then we have this boat to go to the islands. He also gives you a job when you hit 1,000 credit. Let's see if I have the job ready and available. And that one. Where it's worth 1 million coins and 5,600k.
С чем пожаловал? Ладно, двигай давай.
Now, I'm probably not going to skip the boat, because this is the only moving boat thing that I've seen so far in this game. Would be way more fun if we had control over it. Can you imagine? Just rolling around and having some fun. Now, there are 3 islands. We were going to do a video yesterday, but we kind of got stuck with some PvP and then it just got too late. Now, I'm not really a PvP person, but don't go around camping the islands. I'm pretty sure most of us that go to the islands are only going there to get parts and then get off. That's it. Not stay there and camp there. If you're doing that, it's fine. Just don't go killing players, because we'll just come back and kill you. As me and me mate did, for revenge. Anyways, let's get to the point. Now, in each island you're looking for parts. So they're exhibits for the museum. Now essentially you want to save a few parts for that job I just showed you. Bones, skulls, nails, dishes and a few other things. It's very important that you do. That's a pretty big paying job there, with a decent bit of EXP. The money's not so much important, it's the EXP that's important. Gotta level up somehow. Especially given my level is level 76 and he's level 80. Do they get higher for the EXP? Oh boy. But yeah. Kind of. The parts that we find can still be showing up at random points. I found that out today when I was doing a small run to see if I could get anything. Because these islands reset for the main set of parts per day. So I think 24 hours or less, not too sure. We only recently started doing the islands for parts when I realised, after I found a ring that got me 400,000 K, a good bit of coin, and 61 credit. Yeah, we kind of have to be alert a bit. While PvP should not be common on the islands, there always is that one person, specifically Russians, that always seem to attack. Always seeming to get an opportunity to attack someone without thinking the fact that they might not have anything on them. Which is why I emphasize on having next to nothing on me. But for the video's purposes, I've got to have a little bit on me. We're intending to last after all. Now for this section, we'll come here. Just be careful of the anomalies. These rock crushers deal 3 bleed at a time. So basically, if you get stuck there, you're gonna die. Oh, I don't want to touch you. Should be something here, maybe. Nope. Also, just be careful, these anomalies happen to move a fair amount, so they're never in the same spot twice. I mean, if you played the base or the other maps, you'd probably know this. But in this case, you can barely see these ones. Which is a problem. You hit that one, you're dead. As you can see. Oh, I just got lucky there. Oh. Like I said, nasty. Sometimes parts show up, sometimes they don't. I'm pretty sure it hasn't been 24 hours since I did it a bit this morning to see what I could find. And if you've already done it the previous day and you haven't given the exact amount of time, I'm pretty sure it just gives you wood. One so far. We've got an old bent ship now. Ah. That was lucky. Just to double check to make sure. We didn't see anything, but you never know. Now, I would skip this out, but to be honest, it's better to show you than not. Whew. Bit laggy. Now, most players usually don't bother me, and I don't bother them. But you always get some clan player or some... because it's usually the Russians that always attack. I haven't seen anyone who speaks English automatically attacking someone out of the blue. Can't tell who speaks English or Russian in this game, since pretty much everyone seems to speak that, regardless whether they're English or not. So I'm probably just making assumptions, and I do apologise if I am doing so. That was a human chest, rib cage. What does it say for mine? I didn't get all of them, but for this point, as you can see, my cold's rising and so does my health go down quicker. Now, I'm pretty sure there was one more debris section. It's got to be double sure. Yep, that was all. Uh-huh. Now, if it wasn't for the gear that I've got on right now, or the gear, this would be very hard to do. Now, why are we showing off the islands? I would imagine someone would say. Well, it gives you a bit of an idea, especially if you're a new player, what you're looking for. It doesn't give you any idea what you can make though. It is fairly random what shows up. And as you saw, he got bits that I didn't, and I got bits he didn't. Whew. He'll make it. If not, I'll pick him up. No worries. Hold on a second. Right, back. Sorry about that. Had a cold. Not that it matters, I was going to skip it anyways. So, you end up getting that, calling the boat from the signal light, and every time you gotta go and pay. So, every time you get in the boat, you have to pay for it. It's not for free. It's a bit annoying. I thought I paid for a ticket. Fun, fun! that's fun like an only Tron. I'm gonna skip this to the next island to speed this up. And we're back. Island number 2. Make sure you mark where the safe zone is and the campfire spot. There are technically 2 spots here. Uh-oh. His gun broke. That's no good. Oh, it's a thing that happens when you're in a team and you use the radio, at least we think it's that, where your gun will break and cannot be used. It's an issue with the game in general. It only ever happens when we use our radios. When your gun breaks, it's a good indication you can't eat. Ah, it is. You can't eat, you can't do this, you can't crouch, can't shoot, can't aim. And it will look like to the other person it's like you're shooting, but you're not. It's a real confusing thing to why the developers haven't fixed this. And I know it's an old engine, but still. It's quite a puzzling bug. Now on this island we got some wolves. If we can get up there without hitting or shooting any. If we're lucky and no one's up there, it'll be a good day. Please tell me I'm lucky. Seems safe. Whew. Should mention the wolves here bite hard. Always a good idea to keep a lookout. And in this zone you can see you can make a campfire. This is one of the zones we had an issue. We'll quickly make a campfire, warm up, and move on. If we're really lucky and someone isn't going to show up and shoot us, stressful. But when you see dropped meat, you automatically assume there's some players here. The zone wouldn't be too bad if it wasn't for the anomalies. If we're lucky, and this doesn't turn out bad, my apologies if I'm not saying much, I'm just being very, very careful, as getting killed is fairly easy here. Now essentially you want to go up to here, this section up here I think it was. Just be careful of the anomalies. There's a grave here. Go to the grave at your risk. Whenever they're too close like that, you can't get the loot, no matter how good you think you are. Believe me, we've tried. We'll skip over to the next point. Just make this a bit faster. Skip. And we're back. This is another zone which might have, maybe, have some parts. Just be careful. Like the other one, it's usually filled with anomalies. Nothing in that one. Usually there's something, but oh well. It is what it is. And then we have this grave here that at rare cases has something. It's rare, not common, but sometimes it does. Nothing. Yeah, it is what it is. Part of the risk, part of the fun. Looks like that's it. Ooh. I forgot about that. Finally, something that's remotely lootable. Something. I'm not really certain whether he will see things he can loot and I'll see things I can loot. The rules of these islands don't really make much sense. Oh. Nice ass shot. But for whatever record, that's happened to me so many times. Really lucky. Certainly better than last time, because we died to two of those anomalies. Yeah, I also forgot to mention, during these boring sections, this all took me roughly just over 3 weeks worth of constant farming for artifacts, till I had just enough good cold gear so I would explore places like this. If you don't have good cold gear, you'll find you'll get nothing.
Подходи, стесняйся. Ладно, двигай давай.
Nice, we made it in, just in time. We'll skip to the next island. And we're here. Island number 3. There we go, all nice and healed up. No prob. Ooh. Let's see what this is. You see, the shocker things are pretty rare down here. It's very important you need these if you want to get your points up. Oh! I'll chuck it in that one since it's only good for points. Please tell me there's nothing here. Oh. Don't worry, I share with my friends and my teammates when I get artifacts. Please don't die. Uh-huh. Will I be able to raise you without getting knocked? Yeah, that happens too. When you're solo, you can kind of forget where they are. We'll get him to heal up, and then we'll go check for the rest. The problem with all this kit we have is it's bad for radiation. Banana, that can happen. Even the best of us can get killed by those things. Sometimes you don't notice, and you got to remember the possibility that something bad might happen. There we go. You can have the bee. Shockingly, we haven't actually finished looking, so I'll skip to the next part to save a bit of time. And we're back. So this is the other zone. If the anomalies are too close, you won't get. for whatever reason, if the anomalies are too close, do not try going there. Even if you think you have a slight bit of room, it's instant death. There we go, we got something here. Oop. That's a wind. I don't want to die. Ooh. Things like this can be fairly stressful. Ooh, but why? Get apart? Nope. Bummer. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That's it. Right, we'll skip back to the boat unless we find anything to show you. And we're back, and the boat is here. Like I said, costs 10,000 each time. Not expensive if you've got up here. Into the new lands, you already know it's expensive to get here, as it costs 300k per ticket. Or 300,000. The K usually makes it easier to say, especially when you typing it out in game without adding dots and zeros. In case people didn't know what the K meant. And if you're Russian, you would say KK. But I'm not Russian, so no. Me not speak like that. But yeah, that's all your 3 islands. 2 is the biggest, 3 is the most dangerous. But you can get good artifacts. I got 2 deltas there. I call that very good. No, it was 1 delta, B and a Y. Something like that. And then we'll go all the way back here. As for why I'm not cutting the boat ride, I just happen to like the boat ride. The rest of it will have the cuts because we got to go back here. And then we got to run all the way down here. You will see in due time. We are going to show you everything that we know of. Also, I should mention, I forgot to do in the last section or 2 while we're at the actual safe zone, none of the traders here will take any of the artifacts under 95%. So if it's under that percent, you can't sell it here.
Приветствую. Бывай.
Old bent nail. This shard, good. I wonder if it actually takes it off. Human skull? Yes, yes it does. Anyways, we're going to skip this all the way over to the other zone. Right, and we're back. We're going to quickly show you where this safe zone is and how to get to it. If you're a new player to the zone and your cold rises 9 per second, or 9 per time, we're not actually sure if it's per second. Well, I haven't bothered to absolutely time it, but it should be close. 9 per maybe 6 seconds? Either way, what you want to do is come from here, go through there, and then run up here. We're showing you because of the anomalies and such, and through there's a lot of wind and they're very hard to see. It's also very bright. Well, if you're tired, it's bright. But, you know, just showing first. And I don't recommend using this zone as a place to farm the anomalies for artifacts. Because generally, this is fairly well travelled by certain players. Sometimes nice, sometimes not. Especially if it's a Russian. Not that I have anything against Russians, it just seems to be that most of the Russian populace of this game, besides the few nice ones, always seem to love shooting you and shooting you in the back. I don't really understand it myself. I've played plenty of games in the past where the Russian community was actually nicer than the English-speaking one. It's rare, but it happens. But in this game, they always seem to love shooting you in the back and killing anyone at any time. And that's not, you know, to say that all of them do that. It's just the most that I've seen. Still a fair few nice ones though. Man, I got maybe 1, 2 nice Russians. That's it. That's all I've ever seen. Besides the few that pick you up, which are fairly nice. Burnt ass. You never know if there's loot here too. We personally haven't found any, but you never know. Now, this zone has a high set of radiation, and given the clothes we currently wear, unfortunately, easy way to get killed. It's always handy to have one pack of Radaway. But generally, you want to stop here. None of these are checkpoint save zones. There's only a couple of checkpoints in the entire game. Well, no, not the entire game, the entire map, sorry. What am I thinking about? Another game, different story.
это ты.
This one sells sulfuric acid. Formic acid? And sodium hydroxide. That's kind of very important to know where these things are. They cost
До
reputation,
встречи.
but that's very easy to get. And he doesn't say anything,
Ладно, двигай давай.
as you can see. If, for whatever reason, you don't want to stop here, there is another section close by. I think close by. Besides the radio tower, I think there was another... that might be further off. Oh well, if you don't want to stop here, there's a tunnel here, and you can put a fire in the tunnel. In fact, the 2Ks that I know of, you can put fire in, or campfires. In this ice wonder wasteland, it's very important. But just remember, wherever there's polar bears, there's generally players. For some reason they go obsessed about the skins, and they sell them for a ridiculous amount too. 600k for one skin that isn't even worth 200k on its own. It's worth over 150, but not 200. Oh yeah, as you can see, you can put a campfire here if you wish to. Waste of a campfire, but now you know. Now, here is where you get some rats. There's about... let's see. I think there's about 6 in total, depending on how fast they come back. And that's used for that job that's back up in the winter hut. The northern docks also allow you to go to Vez. For short, since I don't really care to pronounce the whole thing. Well, that was lucky.
Здорово.
And he also sells gear. Slightly different. He also pays slightly less for anomalies.
Ну, бывай.
But anyways, that's not the main important thing. We have water here. So if you need water, now we've got another NPC up here.
Много киберанышек.
here will take you to, see? Vestivirus. I personally never go through here just because I need my other clothes. But anyways, we'll show you the rest of the map and what I've unlocked so far. This is the Fisherman, Pete, or Peter, very important. This is the Science Station. It's also a zone you can have a campfire. This is the Ship Graveyard. It's a high radiation zone, but not a safe zone, but it's a zone you can have a campfire. This is another camp zone. Essentially, you'll be running all the way down here to the lighthouse. There's a boat here that takes you for 5k and brings you to the lighthouse. You lose another 5k coming back. This takes you to the, I think, the Southern Island? Yeah, the Southern Island. And then you meet this guide here. We haven't really explored in here because it's a clan zone. It's PvP sometimes, a lot of the times. Anyways, that'll do it for the end of the video. But just to reiterate, whatever the word is, re-say the plane part, one here, around that area. So you got a ring around there. One here, a small old cave. One here, and one here, and one around here, somewhere. I think it's around here. I can't remember exactly if it's here or here. I never actually marked it. But it's usually your first piece that you go for. If you've got the right gear, you can make it. If you don't, you'll die. And up here is where you go for the flag. Which I think we... Right. We are going to show you the flag location. I was supposed to do it the other day, but a particular person popped on. And when that particular person pops on, I get kicked continuously. I do apologise for that. But I have to show it. We're going up here and here. If we're careful, we'll make it without dying. But yeah, besides the many zones that you can look at, you just got to be careful of these anomalies going back. If your cold raises, say, 7 to 8, get here immediately. I do not recommend using it as a zone to camp. You know, like waiting for particular players. Because most of the players usually have heaters on them. An artifact which goes against the cold, acts as like a fire, and gives you mad cold protection. For as long as it's warm, that is. Oof. Nothing. Bummer. Another wolf on my way, it seems. But yeah, I did want to show where you could get the flag since it's a daily job, and it's something you have to do to get the rep up. As well as, you know, some credit points. This is not the way I normally go. I'd normally go all the way straight up. Oh. Might get lucky. And I can help my teammate get his pair of booties. 7. Ooh, another stabilizer. That's good. It's only a delta, but it works for points. I wonder if I'll have enough time. It's 90 cold already. Might do. If I didn't have these cold clothes, I would not be doing this. I'd be avoiding these and going directly to the safe camp zone, sort of. Oh. This could get me killed. Gotta keep trying. Well, he needs his boots, and in this cold zone, I think the protection you get can be up to possibly 3% rising. Gotta be careful, gotta be careful. Good, good, good. If we're lucky, we'll get up there in time. And while it may look like a big open map with not much in it, between the wolves, bears and the anomalies, yeah, it's not a lot, but you can earn big as long as you've got containers. Without containers, you'll get stuck pretty fast. 5, 6. Yeah, he'll be fine with that. Ooh, a wolf heart. Come Come on, up, 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 up. You get here as quick as possible. Don't fall over the other side. Uh-oh. Down we go it is. The taste of anti-radiation food should do. The best food combo is boar fat, dog fruit, and what was the other one? It was... I think it was cranberry. You can get that in the canyon for the most point. It gives 4 stamina. The longer you can run, the better. Oh, oops, pressed the wrong button. I'll make it, I'll make it. Don't get trapped. Which one is you? Win. But yeah, I hope this guide helps you. And also, if anyone happens to want to see more of these videos, don't forget to give us a like on these. That's an important factor after all. I know I keep saying it, it's annoying, but people forget. Even I forget. And sometimes those likes help that person who realises he's done his right thing and given the correct information. Now I just got to find what side it's on. Jump in, warm up. Uh-oh. What side was it on? Ah, there it is. I need to readjust that. Oh. Yep, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't want to freeze me nuts off. I need those. Still working, probably. But from what I understand in this game, if we're talking about the game world, well, technically sterile. Most people would never know that there's a cave here. Because most of the times you're usually coming through here, or through there, or through there. So you never ever notice this. Oh, just in time. Nice and warm. There we go. Now I can see again. Fairly certain there's no loot in here, but I never stay long enough to find out. Here we go. Make sure I make my other campfire. He's cooking. Our next job that we're planning to do Doodly-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-boo. Doodly-doo-doo-doo. Is a requested job, the sensors. In the Outlands. Someone came up and asked about it and said that the only video on YouTube about it was someone in Russian, and it didn't really show how to do something. And I figure, I thank you for the input, and I will get to that next week. This week, I'm more focused on the new lands, as that's taken me the most time to get here. Oh, it reminds me too. If assuming you're listening to all this, there is a job in the airport that reduces the cost of tickets going to this place. Me friend found it. Well, me mate found it. And it reduces the ticket cost by 50%. So what would cost 300k now costs 150. What would cost 100 now costs 50. And it seems to be consistent too. Which is good. Uh-oh. This is where you want to be really careful. One of the things this game has a very stiffy on is around the points, or say peaks, they made it so you'll die quicker. Don't ask me why, but a mate of mine had a suggestion the other day, which you won't see because, well, I wasn't on when he was thinking of it. They put the artifacts as well as the anomalies there to stop people from camping the zones. And it really helps. Now, if you're wondering why I'm storing Delta Shields, there is another place that pays 200k per Delta Shield. Exactly 206. 206,000. It's a pretty big amount. I mean, you can earn that much just by selling skins in the swamp and the Outlands. But let's face it, that's a lot of work. And this way, it costs you nothing on guns, and only radiation, plus batteries and fixing your MGD. Another helpful little tip. Of course, finding E's is something we haven't done yet, and selling them there, so we don't know the price of that. But these ones are all for my mate, so he can raise his points. Because the shockers, surprisingly, don't actually give you much money. Good for points, but you need the credit to get the booch, and the booch means you can survive longer. It's good. Although time consuming, but good. And now we're at the flag. Like I said, I do apologise for not showing this before. Should have been the first thing, but we wanted to show you an easier way to get around. And that is the flag job you do daily. For most new players, it'll be very hard to make it to this one. This is why we suggested going through here and going straight to here or straight to there. Ow. And now we'll take you right down through. Now is the point of concentration. As you can hear, big one around here somewhere. And don't assume just because you threw a rock forward that it won't move and automatically be there. I've died so many times here. Before I had the good gear at least. Also, remember, if you are farming artifacts, the chances of you getting killed can be quite high. Oh. What's this? All wind. What are you? Wind 2. Don't slide too far. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Big black one. Oh. I couldn't take another artifact if I wanted to. So yeah, essentially, this is the fastest way to get to the flag. If you manage to make it, always make sure you have cold food handy. You could also use bear fat if you manage to get it. I think that adds 4, if I remember right, 4 points of cold. Ow. Sheesh. Finally. And this is a section that goes all the way up to there. Be very, very careful. This is the most travelled path next to here. Because people can just go to this cave, well not this cave, the camping site up here and then go to here, or just go directly down to the camping site way down here, if you survive long enough. I have no idea where to get the heater artifact, but sometimes you can see people selling it on the market. The problem is, most people only ever sell it at Grommet. It's no good out here. But essentially, it'll give you what you want, and you'll last a long time. But good cold food, good cold gear, and you'll do grand. Now the only other thing you have to worry about is wolves. Because this section, wolves, and wolves. I'm pretty sure there's a bear around here somewhere. I just can't stay long enough to find out. And I would show you a bear, but the only advice I can give you for the ones that I have faced is they take more than 20 shotgun shells to take down. We unloaded a full mag of 60 of commercial ammo, so standard ammo for the M16. And my M16 is modded, because modded. M16A1 I think it is. Anyways, it took 60 rounds from that, 20 rounds from the 12K, so it takes a fair amount to kill. And then you have to worry about the people hanging around in the PvP. Whenever I try to do a video, I try to avoid the PvP in the video. So sometimes we have that cut so you don't see it. It's not that we can't PvP, we just don't prefer it. It's like one of those things you don't want to do. You can do it, you can win, but the few players that happen to do PvP around here seem to be using hacks as they've walked and done things, because as I may have an Australian ping, the other fella's got the USA. So if he's seeing people warping, you know it's cheats. But anyways, we'll head right back here, because I don't know what she sells yet. I might update that in a later video. But she does sell things once you get, I think, once you get the winter hut points up to 1000. I'm not certain, so the credit, not the credit, the reputation, that's the one. And I do apologise for talking too much, but I want to get all this information in one video. It's a long one after all. And I'll give you extra tips and handy bits and bobs. Now, one other thing I should note, the anomalies, where you find the artifacts, are around here to all the way around here. I don't suggest farming them all the time though, because you may find something, you may not. When it comes to artifacts, like this one for example, see how it's down to 7? Well, I took one artifact out, and then it takes it down to 7. Take another artifact out, and it takes it down to 5 solution. This is important, because it means you have 7 uses. Just as I get kicked. I get kicked just as soon as I see him, and I was going to salute. Because when you bring up your salute menu or look at your levels, you've got a high chance of getting kicked in this game. Anyways.
Это ты.
Apart from that, hopefully you enjoyed this video and it gives you the information you need. Remember, be careful when you go around to the second island, as PvP can happen because people can try and camp here because it's a bigger one. But generally these 2 islands are perfectly safe, as far as I know. Anyways, we'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye. Oh, before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to see more. Anywho, catches.